the bribery allegation matter, about the fuel subsidy probe, and Godwin Nyang joins us now. He is of the Foundation for Moral Integrity. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you, Mr. Kenny.
Okay, now that you've seen all of this transpire, I mean, has your foundation spoken up about this matter, and what have you said if you have spoken?
Yes, good morning. When we heard about this, the bribery allegations, it wasn't quite clear what actually happened. But at the foundation, we felt that the government agencies, those that are involved, must be put on alert so that nothing will escape the eye of the public. So we have released a press statement already. We are not supporting Honorable Lawan Farouk per se, but our basic concern from the indication and from the report of Femi Otodola that it was a sting operation which the SSS were involved. So at the foundation, we felt that the SSS, being a government security institution, ought to have taken a comprehensive thought of the implication of their involvement. Number one, they know for sure that most Nigerians are vulnerable when it comes to finances. Now, Nigerians for once were happy about the work of that probe committee. So it is our opinion that no government institution or no individual should play along with any member that have been found indicted in that committee, so that the credibility of that report will not be questioned.
What's the morality perspective for you in this matter, and whose part?
Good. The morality aspect that we are concerned about in this entire episode lies in two basic premise. One, Lawan Farouk has been championing the cause of moral integrity in the house. Though we do not know him one-on-one to know if he actually lived that life that he projects. But our concern is that the report seems to project a fair enough situation of the corruption that is going on in the oil industry. We are interested to see that that report is implemented to the latter. So that is our basic concern. Now, on the other hand, is Femi Otodola, is this company, was he indicted? Did he persuade, or in the course of trying to get his company out of that list, initiated that bribery inducement? Mm-hmm. If he did, and maybe in the course of things, he realizes that it might bounce back on him, and then maybe get the security agencies to give him a backup, we are concerned about that as well. So this is where our concern lies.
It's a little biased, if you ask me, because if you look at it, you're not also looking at the fact that he said that he was also pressured to give bribe, otherwise his company will be on the list. What if the Farouk Lawan, or Farouk by himself, solicited bribe from, say, these companies, otherwise he will have their name on the list, and which is in the report to blackmail them? Has your committee or your organization considered that angle as well?
Very well. Thank you. You see, we are not shielding Honorable Lawan, neither are we giving him any backing. Mm-hmm. Our concern is that whosoever is found guilty must face the law. But one point must be made clear. Mr. Femi Otodola has been in this oil business, and we have, at least to the barest minimum that we can see from that report that was published, that his companies were involved in collecting money from the federal government without supplying the product for which they were paid
That's
for.
what the report
That's what the report says. It has not
initially.
been confirmed by a court of law to know. But so far, if Honorable Lawan solicited bribe from him, and it can be proven in the court of law that he actually did, then he is liable. But his report must not be ignored. His report, the committee's report, must not be ignored. Now, if Mr. Femi Otodola also is found to have induced this bribery scandal, he also, irrespective of his status in the society, must also face the law.
The question will be, why shouldn't his report be ignored? I mean, a host of Nigerians believe very strongly that the report of that committee should not be ignored. In fact, even the House of Representatives has said that the reports too shouldn't be ignored. But the question is, what is the credibility of that report? Because a host of other marketers behind the scenes have been saying, we were also pressured to give bribe, otherwise we will find our names there as well.
Now, before this time, before this incidents of Mr. Femi Otodola coming up to say that the chairman of that committee solicited bribe from him, no other marketer had been able to come up to say something until this time.
But did we hear stories of that? I mean, the stories were rife, even though they were not confirmed, but the stories were rife.
Yes, you're correct. But you see, Honorable Lawan also cried out in the hall, in the chambers, that the committee were under serious pressure to compromise the reports. So, okay, when we have these two scenarios, who do we believe? Now, it is our opinion at the foundation that that report must not be ignored. Now, what can be done? Let perhaps a separate committee comprising men of integrity look at that report, compare it with the one that the federal government has also initiated, then go through all the documents again, and they must be transparent as much as possible.
Is there anything suggesting that the report is not being, or there's no intention to implement the report?
Quite very well, quite very well.
Such as?
Number one, when the report was submitted to the president, when that report was submitted to the presidency from the National Assembly, we expected a swift action.
What do you mean? How? How swift?
Fine. The report that was submitted, well, in the history of this country, one of the largest corruption case, and that should attract serious attention of the president, who
Didn't it?
No, not at all, because he, being the chief security officer, should give specific instruction.
So the statement of the AGF didn't mean anything to you?
Because when you make statement and there's no action,
How do you know there's no action?
Yeah, what do you understand from the statement of the AGF?
from the statement of the AGF, you see there've been pressure from civil society organizations, from all well-meaning Nigerians of late that report should not be ignored, and the international community also have come in. So now presently the president is trying to project a front that they actually want to implement that report. But if he had intention to implement that report, now when Femi Otodola came up to report that this man.
No, let's leave this one. Let's focus on the report. What do you understand about the process of prosecuting anyone found guilty? After the report, What are the stages from your understanding?
The stages of prosecuting somebody that have been alleged to have committed a crime, which the report states, because it's not confirmed until a court of law confirms that this person is guilty. Now, it is expected that the government should have initiated a move to ensure that those on that list, either their international passports so that they will not run away, their businesses,
The federal government should
the federal
do that?
government should be closely monitored so that none of them will leave the country. Remember what happened?
That's the procedure for you?
Okay, now, excuse me. Remember when this man was alleged, the police got on him immediately.
Which one?
That Honorable Lawan, as soon as the report came out that he sought bribery inducement from Femi Todola, you know what happened? The police looked after him immediately. There was no court of law that issued a warrant that he should be arrested. He was incarcerated for about 24 hours to be questioned about the report, right? Now, we expected that kind of action when the report was submitted, at least, so that we, the masses, will be convinced that the government now have a willpower to prosecute those found guilty